Hi, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today I wanted to show you guys what good looks like. I did some observations in a couple of different grow out pens, and this is the pair that I pulled out for being the best examples from their respective hatch batches. It is grow out season for a lot of us, so I saw some value in talking about it. This Pullet is coming up on 16 weeks old. She weighed in at 4 pounds 5 ounces. So I'm pretty confident she's going to hit the 5-pound mark or better before she starts laying. And that's really important because if they are not fleshed in and meaty by the time they start laying, then they're probably going to end up on the small side of the spectrum. This girl, I liked her best overall for her size and her bulk as compared to the others. Plus, her leg color is really great. Her toes are straight. She's pretty well balanced. She's feathering in really well. Her wings are nice and tidy. She is growing in feathers from that teenager molt, so it's a little bit soon to really dive into feathering. She had a pretty good mind. She was pretty nosy and curious when I was in the pen, just sitting on a stool, observing everyone. She is going to get white earlobes, and she definitely needs more time to show what her comb is going to do, because it hasn't bloomed yet, and that doesn't happen until laying age. So we'll see if it gets wonky or not. But structurally, she handled great. Her bone spacing, her length, her depth. She checked all the boxes better than her peers. She also has a lot of that straight-legged body width that I love, love, love to see. That makes a nice carcass result once you go through your culls and you process. But also note how spotlessly clean her butt is. She's taking great care of herself, and she's very healthy. And there was no intervention to do that. We don't do a medicated flock, we don't worm, we don't do a lot of that supportive care, because I want to find the birds that can chicken really well on their own. The less I can be involved, the better, is my theory. She's pooping a lot. I really like her a lot. Now, both of the boys that I had held on to in her pen, those are both going to be calls. I didn't like either one of them. And I had to go through another 2 batches to find this boy that I liked as much as I like her. He's younger. He's more like 12 weeks old. And he weighed in at 3 pounds 14 ounces, which is not the top end of the spectrum for the growth that this flock can produce. But I liked his coloring, I liked his overall balance, I liked his width, length, and depth, and his bone spacing was great too. If you go back to some of my older videos where I talk about the bone spacing, especially the pelvic width, that has a lot to do with productive traits, especially when it comes to egg laying. I like this guy's attitude too. He is respectful but not afraid of the guy in temporary quarters next door. He's also keeping himself in really good, clean condition. It looks like he's going to get a halfway decent tail. His comb is only a little bit out of control, but it's too soon to judge harshly on that. So both of them need more time to grow and more time to show me how they're going to finish out. But right now, these were the best in their pens. I like both of them a lot, and I'm not going to be surprised if they end up in a pen together at a later date. Unless I find a better male, which is always possible. But for the hatch batches and their respective pens that they came from, this was the best pair I could find. I think she's going to turn out better than him. But a lot of the good stuff passes through the female, so that's okay. What do you think, boy? I don't like his comb. I've been saying that a lot this year, so next year one of my priorities is going to have to be on comb improvement. I think I finally reached that point. As far as what they feel like, their fleshing, it's really spot on. And you can kind of see that in their silhouette since their feathers are coming in pretty tight. What you see is kind of what you get. And you only find that in tight feathering. If the feathers are really loose, it can be covering up a lot of structural discrepancies, I like to call them. So I do like to find the tighter feathered birds. These two suit each other pretty well though so far. But I'm going to get back to chores before this heat really kicks in. It's getting hot as blazes this week with amped up humidity as well. I don't want to stress the birds out too much. But I did want to show you what I found in the pens today. I really like her a lot. She was easy to find in the pen too. She stood out. And that's how you know you found a good one, if they just kind of appear out of the horde of birds when you know what you're aiming for, what you're looking at, and what they're supposed to be. She's got it. That's going to be a good bird. He's going to need more time than her to tell me. He's not far off the mark, though. He's probably going to end up with redder than desired earlobes, but she's going to have white earlobes, so that'll offset it. What do you think if I reach? You only care a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get these birds put back. I've got a lot of other pens to get through to find my absolute favorites. But these are the birds that I like to put in the safest places in our pens. Because we do have predators. And the easiest birds to get to are the known calls and rooster coop. They don't have netting over top of their pasture. We do have hawks, bobcats, fox, coyote, all of that. These, I'm going to put them in a safe pen that's fully covered and inaccessible, so we can see what they do. And I have become a fan of putting younger cockerels with older pullets. I think they learn better that way. And they do learn by watching other birds, so the pen they'll go into is next door to my leading male so that he can show these young guys how to behave. Oh, I like her a lot. So this is what good looks like. As I get back into the swing of videos, since we did have some stuff going on here that slowed me down a little bit, I'll get back to showing you what terrible and what so-so looks like. But today I wanted to start on a good note. Oh, look at that back end width. Look how straight the legs are. For a young bird that's not fully mature, she's going places. So more on this later. If you haven't already liked and subscribe, please do so. There's a lot to know and a lot to learn and a lot that I need to get put into content that I haven't even covered yet. But baby steps. Don't forget to be patient with your flock this year. And don't get too picky if you're just starting out, because you might accidentally call yourself out of a flock. You got to be careful. So as I get through more grow outs, we'll get hands-on with what we're looking for and what we're calling for.